Now, what happens when we get a trips formation in when we play in cover four palms? Well, this is where we really see a big difference between cover four palms and cover four quarters when we're talking about trips. Okay, our default adjustment to cover four with cover four palms in regards to trips is what we call special. All right. Now there are other names for this particular coverage that coaches use, but you know, we've seen things such as mini or Jordan. You know, there's other you know, terminologies that are out there, but for us, it's called special. And what special means, and what special is basically an X out theory. Okay, so you remember in the first videos, the first two videos when we were talking about defending trips and what cover four is and what quarters is, it's basically a man match defense. So if the offense were to run four verticals, we got to make a determination of how we want to defend that. You know, now in trips, what we do, we playing solo where we're taking our backside safety, and now he's reading number 3 to the front side here to determine whether or not he's going vertical. Well, the issue with this particular instance is that it could leave you a little bit vulnerable to the run to the you know, weak side over here, because now this player has to get to the middle of the shuffle inside to key number 3 vertical to see what he's doing. So we could be a little bit weaker in run support to this particular side here. Well, what's special when we play, what we're going to do is we're going to play special. So we're not going to have our backside safety in like he does in solo come and take the vertical number 3. Instead, we're going to play our basic quarters rules on this side of the field, and we'll get back more into this particular side of the field in a little bit. There's some notes I want to share with you guys over there how we're playing that side. All of the action really is going on over here. So like I said, special is what we call an X out theory. How are we going to handle our 4 verticals? What we're going to do, we're going to take our corner to the side of the trips, and we're going to lock him man to man on number 1. Okay, so basically what we're saying is we're going to X out the number 1 receiver. And what we're saying is when we X out the number 1 receiver, now we're going to play palms coverage on number 2 and number 3. Okay, so if you imagine, let me zoom the camera in here. If you imagine that the number 1 receiver didn't exist, he's no longer a factor for the nickel, the quarter flat player, the 3 receiver hook, or the safety. He's not in the equation. The corner, you're on your own. Now what we're going to do, our quarter flat player, he's reading Q3 to 2. Our strong safety is also reading Q3 to 2. So what we're saying here now is we're basically playing palms coverage, just like here at the top. You know how we read number 2, and if number 2 goes out, the corner's going to take him, and the safety, you're going to get over top of number 1. Well, we're doing the same thing here. If nickel, our quarter flat player, Q3 to 2. If number 3 were to go out, number 2 go vertical. Our quarter flat player, you're taking number 3. Our safety, you're getting over the top of number 1. So it basically, we're playing palms coverage on the 2 inside receivers, and all of these same rules that we use in the scenario up top here, when number 2 is in the slot and number 1 is out wide, and you know we got this particular alert for palms coverage. Those same rules will apply down here. So now if you get an instance where number 2 is vertical and then number 3 is vertical, our quarter flat player, he's going to match and play man coverage on the number 2 receiver. Our strong safety, he's going to take number 3 and play him man-to-man coverage. Once he passes a depth of 10 yards, same thing here. Once this nickel passes a depth, linebacker depth of about 8 yards, it's man-to-man coverage. Our 3 receiver hook player is going to wall off number 3, carry him up to the safety, and then once he's carries him up to the safety, he can sink back inside, looking for any work over the middle. If we get a situation where number 2 were to run like an out route, since number 1 is locked man-to-man, now when number 2 goes out, our quarter flat player, you have him. You got first out, first of the flat. Now our safety and our 3 receiver hook player, they're looking at number 3. If number 3 were to go vertical, again, the safety would take him. If number 3 would go inside, our 3 receiver hook, he would take number 3 and pretty much control that route by the number 3 receiver. Now, that gives you a basic overview of what we're doing on the trip side. On the back side over here, we're basically playing quarters. And all our standard quarters rules apply for our corner, our safety, and our will. So same thing, if this number 1 receiver on the backside were to go vertical past linebacker depth, corner, you're taking him man-to-man. If he were to go post, dig, or curl, our safety, you can help rob that route. If he takes an outside release, our safety, he's free to look for work inside, help out where needed. Our wheel backer here, our quarter flat player to the backside. If number 2 were to go out to the flat, he would take that route. Also, if number 2 were to be in the slot, and he's and this is an empty formation, we're still going to play our same special coverage to the 3 receiver side, and we're basically playing now palms to the 2 receiver side. So if this is an empty situation where number 2 is in the slot, we're back to playing palms again. So basically now, again, safety and corner, we're reading Q 2-1 if he is in the slot. Now, some other thing. Now, this is the beauty of a quarters coverage type of defense, because now it gives us some flexibility, if you will, to do some things from a hot route and defensive adjustment point of view. Now, what I like to do a lot of times is, because quarters coverage, it lends itself to being a split safety coverage. So if you imagine you split the field in half, this side of the field over here, they could be totally independent of this side of the field, okay, in this particular coverage. So now we can make checks over here, or we can do hot routes. Well, we may not want to play quarters. You may want to put your corner over here in a man-to-man deal, and hot route the safety and play deep half and play like a cover 2 man deal and play special over to this side. You may want to put him in a cloud flat or hard flat. You may want to put this guy in like an outside third and put him in a cloud flat or a hard flat. Whatever your heart's desire, you can, if you call cover 4 palms, and on the single receiver side, you have a lot of flexibility in terms of hot routes and defensive adjustments you can make over here. It really is up to you. If you want to blitz the corner off the edge and have your safety man up number 1 and have your weak side linebacker take number 2, it really is limitless in terms of what you could dream up and what you can scheme up. That's why I like playing cover 4 palms, and I like this coverage a lot, because it gives you the ability to really keep your opponent guessing and off balance in terms of the things that you can do with defensive adjustments and so forth. What I like to do also, just this is just me, and you can play it however you want to play it. I like to let the guys on the trip side of the field, play their adjustments in palms, play their special coverage. And, a lot of times I'll like to control, this backside safety here because, again, the reason why we like palms, we can be a support, we get better support to the run to this side. So I can user him and be able to get down in the box pretty quick. If for whatever reason to get a run to the weak side in a trip situation. Again, the versatility with the hot routes, being able to make all different types of adjustments. So there you have it. This is our cover 4 palms play, how we defend a situation when we get a number 2 in the slot, tight end flanker, trips and empty, and also how you can use the defensive the various pre-play adjustments such as defensive hot routes to really dress it up and throw some different looks at your opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. The next video in this the cover 4 quarters series that we're going to go over, it's going to revolve around personnel matchups, personnel considerations when you want to decide you want to play quarters, and go from there.